Finally, they nerfed Khameleon. I can play Mortal Kombat without some broken cameo ruining my whole day. What the fuck was that? Oh, God. It's no secret the Ferra might be the most hated and beloved cameo in the game right now. This character is absolutely polarizing. Anyone who uses Ferra does not want to nerf for this character and loves playing as her. And anyone who doesn't play Ferra despises this character and wants to see her burn in hell. Me personally, I think they could reduce her health by a little bit, but that's about it. I just want to see every other cameo get on her level. But regardless of that, she is quite annoying to deal with in Combat League. Anytime I go against a Ferra player, I usually get my shit stomped in by a mix-up that I can't even see coming. I have to use the Doctor Strange Infinity Stone just to see it coming and see all 65 million paths that they're going to use to mix me up, because I swear to God, it's completely undoable with Wi-Fi. That was until I learned a couple of secret tricks to help you beat Ferra. Ferra actually is kind of counterable if you know what you're doing, and that's the purpose of today's video. So, in today's video, I'll be going over how to counter Ferra in Mortal Kombat 1, and how you can shit stomp this little Oompa Loompa and send her right back to Willy Wonka. First off, we have the most annoying part about Ferra, and the thing that people struggle with the most is Ferra's mix-up. Ferra has an overhead low, double launching, double safe mix-up, which means that you can just do this as free as you want with any character in the game. And it's really good. Let's say I'm playing someone like Ermac, which is my personal favorite character with Ferra. You can do something absolutely insane like this, where you can just go 1-2, and then either a overhead, which is -2, or the low, which is -5. I'm not gonna lie, this is what carries most of the bad players with Ferra on Combat League. If you don't know what you're doing and you use Ferra, you probably are just using these two moves and nothing else, because most players don't know how to deal with this for some reason. If you find yourself getting caught by this mix-up over and over again, I'm gonna teach you a surefire solution to stop someone who spams this and only this. So let's say I know Reptile is only using the overhead and the low. Like, that's all he's using. First of all, you can actually up block the overhead. So if he's only using overhead and he spams overhead a lot, you can actually up block that and go for a full punish. There are a lot of players who like to use the overhead a lot more than low because it seems quicker. So that's a great way to counter that. But there is another way to counter both of these things. And how you do that is actually by doing a backwards jump. So let's just show you what I'm talking about here. I can either block that and he's safe, or if I jump, I can actually move and avoid it completely. Let's just go for a back jump. I can do it over the overhead as well. So if somebody is literally only using overhead and only using low, that is the way to counter that. And if they don't know how to stop you from doing this, you basically completely remove Ferra's entire kit. The only thing they get from Ferra now is the 150 extra health. However, the Ferra player can counter this with Ferra's ability, and that ability is an anti-air. If you press 1 while Ferra's on your back, you can actually do a big sweeping attack with Ferra and launch them out of the air like so. Let's say I go for the back jump again. I now get caught with the anti-air, and he can go for a full combo that way. There's a definite counter to this. So there is a bit of a mind game when it comes to actually countering this move, but this is Mortal Kombat 1 we're talking about, and a lot of characters actually have air options. First of all, the most obvious option to counter the anti-air is just to use an armor move. If Reptile goes for any move, whether it be overhead, low, or our anti-air, I can usually armor it regardless. But truth be told, there's a much better punish with this. Most characters have some sort of teleport ability or some sort of move that can combo in that little gap. So what you can do is use a move like Ermac's teleport, Scorpion's enhanced teleport, or something along those lines, and completely get a pretty long combo from that counter. So if I know Reptile is going for the anti-air a lot, what I can do is just go ahead and go for a full combo after that. Also, a lot of people online don't really have the knowledge necessarily to use Ferra to her full potential, meaning they will use Ferra in strings that have gaps in them. What you can do is actually just go for a 1-2 or a 1, you're down 1 string, and just punish them with a pretty fast combo. All I have to do is wait for him to go for one of his moves and I can get a full combo punish off of it. There really isn't much you can do here considering all of Ferra's moves are too slow for you not to be punished. I think your two best options to counter Ferra are number 1, back jump. Most players will not be going for the anti-air first. That's more of a reaction option. So wait for your opponent to react to your back jump and then you can start using your other options. For example, if you're playing a character like Ermac, Ermac has an option where you can teleport and completely negate any of that stuff because you get a full combo after the teleport. But now let's say you're fighting someone who's using more than just the mix-ups. Now let's say you're fighting someone who loves using the pain and gain setups. The pain and gain setups can actually be quite obnoxious to go against and kind of hard to counter if they know what they're doing. If I let Reptile start Pain and Gain, he gets 2 hits of armor, which is very scary. However, the best way to counter a Pain and Gain, especially off of Wake Up, is go for a run and then use your armor move directly afterwards. It's pretty hard for anyone to counter this at all, because you're going to armor the first Pain and Gain hit, they're going to take the 15% from the Pain and Gain plus your armor damage, and you're going to be able to stop that initial damage from happening, which is going to leave you in the clear pretty much. The one thing I would recommend against Pain and Gain setups is to wait. The armor doesn't last too long, so what you can do is hold LT on the ground. A lot of people will use Pain and Gain setups after a knockdown, so hold LT on the ground, wait for the armor to go away, and then use your armor move, because usually what the Ferra player will not do is wait for your armor. But if you're playing Ferra, you can jump their armor, you still have options to beat it, so it's still a bit of a mind game. Finally, I'd like to talk about a strategy that a lot of people really haven't thought about, but is really good against Ferra for one particular reason, and that is running away. And I know it sounds boring, I hate players who run away all game, but it is really good against Ferra. The reason being, this character has like no good zoning tools. Your best tools as Ferra for zoning, let's say the enemy is full screen, you can throw this low kick, which they can pretty much see coming as it's your only tool in the entire game, which I'm not gonna lie, it's okay. You can get a full combo full screen from it, it's decent, but like I said, if you're the enemy, you can just sit there and block low the whole game because you know what's coming. And you also have this long range little overhead move, but guess what? This move doesn't really combo, it does nothing. So if you take this move full screen, oh well, that sucks, you take 5%, but at the same time, they lose half their Ferra cameo bar and they don't get any closer. The best option that Ferra players have full screen is to use Ferra with one of their moves. Let's say I'm playing Ermac and I need to get full screen somehow. I can actually go ahead and use Ferra plus teleport to get closer in on them. But if you notice, if I mess that up, I actually lose my entire cameo bar. So if I lose Ferra, I am now useless. Ferra doesn't really have any crazy ambush moves that you can use after an armor move to get in. Like I said, the only thing that you can really use to get your character closer is a teleport, and a lot of characters don't have that option from the aerial standpoint. You have Scorpion and Ermac, and that might be it. I don't know. Quote me if I'm wrong in the chat, but that might be the only 2 characters who can do what I just displayed there. Which means that if you're getting bullied by a Ferra player and you have really good full screen pressure, use it. Go back and zone. This is the only time that I would say go zone, go zone. But Ferra players are really carried right now, and that is the way to beat it. You stay away from Ferra and you hit them with projectiles. Truth be told, there is not much a Ferra player can do about it. So with all of those tips, you should be able to beat Ferra a little bit easier. Remember, back jump on the mix-up, use either your armor or find a good combo extension option off of the anti-air, poke and then use your armor on Pain and Gain setups, and stay far away from Ferra players. These 4 things will help you exceed, and playing like this has made Mortal Kombat 1 Combat League a lot more bearable for me. I'm not as annoyed as a lot of players on Twitter are right now because I've seen a lot of complaints about Ferra and that she needs nerfed. I really don't think so. This cameo does have a little bit of counterplay. It just, I will say the health is a bit much. I think that reducing her health would be a very nice change. I don't think every character in the game needs to be a tank. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Big Flounder. I make Mortal Kombat content. I also stream Mortal Kombat on my Twitch channel, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and click on the link below. I also have a Discord server link down there where I post updates to my channel, updates to my streams, stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, please go ahead and join that up. That'll do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.